Hey gang, it's your little buddy Tim Cant here for Loopmasters. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the wild world of future bass. That's right, big chords, even bigger bass lines, and some wonky beats provided in this case by Loopmasters Future Vibes. The future is now, old man, so let's get cracking. Most dance music styles are driven by their beats and bass lines. That is, those are the bits that give the music its propulsive quality that makes you want to dance. While those elements are still critical in future bass, what usually drives the track in future bass is the music, particularly the chord progression. So I wanted to work on that first, so I checked out Future Vibes' bonus MIDI folder to see what was on offer. I liked REBD bonus MIDI 10's uplifting and jazzy 4-part chords. Here's what it sounds like with the default extra record serum patch. To make the patch a bit more feature bassy, I used 2 sawtooth oscillators with 16 detuned unison voices playing an octave apart, and used an LFO set to envelope mode to quickly pitch up the note right at the start of the sound. I also used FabFilter Pro R to apply reverb and Pro G to tighten up that reverb. I also checked out Future Vibes' musical loops and was pleased to discover that one of the loops, REB160 Desynth 27, was created with the same chords as the bonus MIDI clip. So I tried the parts together and was really happy with how they complemented each other. At this stage it was tempting to go buck wild with musical elements, but I knew deep in my heart it was time to put some drums in there. I selected REB Kick 03 and REB Snare 08, which I sequenced to follow the rhythm of the chord progression. These sounds sat in the mix beautifully without any tuning or processing, so I quickly moved on to making a bass line. Although future bass tracks often have crazy bass flourishes, their bass will generally sit under the chord and provide the chord with a solid foundation. So I copied the MIDI clip from the saw part onto a new track and deleted everything in the new clip apart from the lowest octave. To play this back I used Serum set to a single sine oscillator. While the sine sub covered the lowest octave, I felt there was potential to have some more low and mid energy in there, so I duplicated the track, selected the blue Screen of Death square bass patch in Serum, then used the chorus and high pass filter to widen the sound and take out its lows so that it wouldn't crowd the existing sub. The track is starting to get swole, but it lacks energy. To remedy this, I used REB160 Fill 06 and REB160 Fill 14 to provide some rhythmic interest at the end of every other bar. I also programmed a vaguely trappy hi-hat vamp with REB C-Hat 10. Next I wanted to get some vocals in there to juxtapose all the synthy sounds, and I was enamoured with REB160 D Vocal 14. I chopped this up and rearranged it to fit with the saw part and drum fills, and used REB 160 D Vocal 28 to provide a switch up at the end of every 8-bar section. I also used REB 160 D Synth 31 from the musical loops folder in a similar fashion, chopping it up, pitching it, and rearranging it to fit with the other musical elements. By this point, I'd added all the elements I wanted, and while I was feeling the vibe, I felt like the mix didn't have that upfront polished feel that I demand from a feature bass track. So I copied out the 8-bar section and got to work trimming stuff out. I cut out some of the saw part hits and accompanying bass to make it punchier, and also deleted any parts of the vocal that were playing over the chords. Then I edited the fill so that they didn't play over the snare. I also used sidechain compression to duck the synth and bass elements when the kick and snare play. Here's how the original version sounds, then the stripped back version. Ultimately, the choice between these two versions is an artistic one. I enjoyed the tidier nature of the stripped back version, so I went with that. To make a simple arrangement, I began with a key loop which builds with the addition of the full version of the vocal. Before the drop, the drums cut out, and I used REB FX05 White Noise Riser and REB Impact FX07 Impact Effect to build up and emphasize the drop. After 8 bars of drop, the key part comes back in. Mastering was a touch of Isotope Ozone 8 Equalizer and Maximizer. Well, I'm pretty happy with those futuristic bass vibes, but where would I take it from here? Maybe some kind of jazzy lead line? Or maybe some insane wobs? Or maybe I'd add a vocal with lyrics about drowning, because I really do find that copying what everyone else is doing is the best idea most of the time. Speaking of good ideas, why don't you come and join us for another Loopmasters how-to real soon? Ta-ra!